The letter from First National Bank felt like a brick in my hands. Denied. The word glared up at me in bold letters, mocking 3 years of overtime shifts and ramen dinners I'd endured to save for my first home. My name is Kaya, and until today, I thought I had everything figured out. Perfect credit score, solid down payment, even a spreadsheet tracking every penny I'd spent since college graduation. But apparently, the universe had other plans. There must be some mistake, I told the loan officer over the phone, my voice trembling. I've never missed a payment in my life. Ma'am, there's a significant personal loan on your credit report, $50,000 taken out 8 months ago. That puts your debt-to-income ratio well outside our lending parameters. My stomach dropped. What loan? I never took out any loan. I can email you a copy of your credit report right now. I sat at my kitchen counter watching my laptop screen refresh until the email arrived. There it was, a massive personal loan through Regional Credit Union. My signature was there, but I'd never signed those papers, never even stepped foot in that bank. Then I saw the co-signers' names, my parents. The room started spinning. Mum and Dad had helped manage some of my accounts during college, but I'd taken control years ago. Except Yara. My younger sister had mysteriously acquired a brand new Range Rover a few months back, despite working part-time at a boutique. Just a really good deal, she'd said, twirling the keys. Don't be jealous. I grabbed my keys and drove to my parents' house, hands shaking on the steering wheel. The Range Rover sat in the driveway, gleaming in the afternoon sun like a trophy of betrayal. Mom answered the door in her tennis whites, perfectly coiffed as always. Kaya, what a surprise. I was just about to... I thrust the credit report in her face. Care to explain this? She barely glanced at it. Oh, that? It was a family emergency. Your sister needed help getting started. You forged my signature for Yara's car loan. Don't be dramatic. We co-signed. It's perfectly legal. Dad appeared behind her, already looking at the floor. Princess, let's discuss this calmly. Calmly? My voice cracked. You stole my identity. I just got rejected for a mortgage because of this. Oh, please. Yara's voice floated down the stairs. She appeared in designer sweats, phone in hand. It's not like you were actually going to buy a place. You've been talking about it forever. Because I was saving, actually working for it, unlike some people. Mom's face hardened. We're family. Family helps each other. Your sister needed... What about what I need? My credit is ruined. You're being selfish, Mom said. After everything we've done for you, everything you've done, like committing fraud? Dad wouldn't meet my eyes. Your mother thought... Stop defending her, I screamed. You both knew exactly what you were doing. Yara rolled her eyes. God, you're such a drama queen. It's just money. I looked at them, really looked at them. Mom's practiced innocence, Dad's practiced avoidance, Yara's practiced entitlement. A lifetime of similar moments crashed over me, birthday money that disappeared, college funds that somehow ended up in Yara's shopping account, credit card statements I was never allowed to see. You're right, I said quietly. It is just money, and now you're going to pay it back, all of it. Mom laughed that dismissive little laugh she'd perfected over the years. Don't be ridiculous. What are you going to do, sue your own family? I walked out without another word, ignoring their calls behind me. That night, I slept in my car 3 blocks from my apartment, afraid they'd show up at my door. As I stared at the ceiling of my Honda Civic, something crystallized inside me, hard and cold and certain. They thought this was a joke, that I'd cave like always, swallow the hurt, play the good daughter, but they'd finally gone too far. They'd stolen my future thinking I wouldn't fight back. I pulled out my phone and Googled identity theft lawyers near me, then how to report financial fraud, then statute of limitations on forged signatures. You want to treat this like a game? I whispered to my dark car ceiling. Fine, let me show you the punchline. I started making calls at exactly 9 a.m. the next morning, first to the bank's fraud department, then to a lawyer who specialized in family financial abuse. By noon, I had appointments with both. The game was about to change, and this time, I was writing the rules. The regional credit union lobby was all gleaming marble and fake plants, trying too hard to look prestigious. I clutched my folder of documents: birth certificate, driver's license, credit reports, and years of carefully saved bank statements. "Ms. Reyes will see you now," the receptionist said, leading me to a small office where a woman in her 50s sat reviewing files. Penny Reyes looked exactly like someone who'd spent 20 years catching liars. Sharp eyes, no-nonsense posture, and a face that had heard every excuse in the book. "So," she said, studying my documents, "walk me through what happened." I laid out the evidence methodically. "Here's my actual signature from my passport and driver's license, and here's the signature on the loan documents. They're clearly different." She compared them, frowning. "Who had access to your personal information?" "My parents. They managed some of my accounts in college, but I took control years ago, or thought I did." "And the loan proceeds?" "Went straight to a car dealership for my sister's new Range Rover." Penny's eyebrows shot up. "Did you authorize this purchase?" "I didn't even know about it until yesterday. My mortgage application was denied because of this loan." She started typing rapidly. "We'll need to pull the original loan application, security footage from the day it was signed, and..." A memory suddenly hit me. I was 12, sitting at the kitchen table while Mom helped Yara with homework. "Mom, can you help me too? I don't understand this math problem." "In a minute, sweetie. Yara needs me right now." But in a minute never came. It never did when Yara needed something. Penny's voice snapped me back. "Ms. Norton, are you all right?" "Sorry, just remembering things." She nodded knowingly. Family fraud cases are always the hardest, but they're also the most important to pursue. Without consequences, the behavior escalates. What happens if I file a formal complaint? We launch a full investigation. If fraud is confirmed, the case goes to our federal compliance team. Your parents could face serious charges. Are you prepared for that? I thought about Mom's tennis whites and practiced innocence. Dad's strategic silence. Yara's endless Instagram posts from exotic locations, funded by money that was supposed to be my future. "They're counting on me not being prepared," I said. "They always have." Penny slid a form across her desk. "This is an affidavit of fraud. Once you sign, there's no going back. The bank will pursue all legal remedies to recover the funds." My hand shook as I reached for the pen. "Will this hurt their credit?" "Yes, significantly. As co-signers, they'll face the same consequences as if they'd defaulted." I remembered Mom's voice. "Family helps each other. But family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't forge signatures and laugh it off." I signed. Penny studied the affidavit, then made some calls. I sat there trying not to think about Christmas dinners and birthday parties that would never happen again. My phone buzzed. A text from Yara. "Mum's crying because of you. Hope you're happy." I blocked her number. Penny hung up her last call and turned to me with an expression that made my stomach clench. "Your case has triggered mandatory escalation protocols," she said carefully. "The amount and circumstances. This is likely going to federal fraud review." What does that mean? It means the FBI might get involved. Identity theft across state lines is their jurisdiction. I thought I'd feel satisfied hearing this. Instead, I felt hollow, empty, like I'd just lit a match in a room full of gasoline and couldn't take it back. But then I remembered the mortgage rejection letter, the years of savings destroyed by one forged signature, the casual way they'd laughed off stealing my future. "What's the next step?" I asked. "We'll freeze the loan and launch a formal investigation. You should expect contact from our legal department within 48 hours. She paused. "And Ms. Norton, Change all your passwords. Lock down your credit. Family fraud cases can get messy. Walking out of the bank, my phone exploded with notifications. 15 missed calls from mom, 10 from dad, texts saying I was overreacting, being dramatic, hurting the family. I turned my phone off and drove to work, hands steady on the wheel. They thought they knew me. The quiet daughter, the reliable one, the one who never made waves. But they'd forgotten something important. Quiet waters run deep. And I was done drowning in their lies. My phone stayed off all day. Let them panic. Let them wonder. They were about to learn that the daughter they'd underestimated had finally found her voice, and it was going to be loud. 3 days into radio silence, and my phone was a war zone. Missed calls, voicemails, text messages ranging from guilt trips to threats. I scrolled through them during my lunch break, eating a sandwich at my desk. "Your sister is devastated," Mom's latest text read. "How could you do this to your own family?" Meanwhile, Yara's Instagram told a different story. "Living my best life. Blessed Paris." Her latest post showed her sipping champagne at a rooftop bar, the Eiffel Tower twinkling in the background, all funded by my stolen credit. I opened Instagram and typed, "Freedom is saying no to those who hurt you. Jiao boundaries." Posted it. Blocked my family before they could comment. "That's some heavy stuff for a Tuesday," Elena said, peering over my cubicle wall. She was my closest work friend, always armed with coffee and uncomfortable truths. "My family stole 50 grand from me," I said. "Found out when my mortgage got rejected." Elena's eyes widened. She pulled up a chair. "Spill. Everything." So I did. The loan, the Range Rover, the fraud investigation. By the end, Elena's face was a storm cloud. "My aunt did something similar to my cousin," she said. "Used her SSN to open credit cards. Everyone told her to let it go because family. Know where that aunt is now? Prison. Because she did it to 3 more people. My mom keeps saying I'm overreacting." Gaslighting 101. Make the victim feel crazy for having normal reactions. A commotion at the office entrance cut through our conversation. My mother's voice, sharp and demanding, carried across the floor. "I need to see my daughter immediately." Elena squeezed my arm. "Back entrance, go. I'll run interference." I slipped out through the emergency stairs just as Mom rounded the corner to my desk. Through the window, I watched security escort her out, her tennis bracelet catching the sun as she gesticulated wildly. That night, the pounding on my apartment door started at 8 p.m. "Kaya," Dad's voice. "Please, just talk to us." "We can fix this." Mom's voice cracked with fake tears. "Why are you doing this?" I sat in my darkened living room, hands shaking as they continued for 20 minutes. Finally, a neighbor threatened to call the police. Their footsteps retreated, but their words lingered. The next morning, a thick manila envelope arrived at my office. No return address, just my name in careful handwriting. Inside were photocopies of documents, loan applications, signature cards, even emails discussing the plan to use my information. The postmark was from Millbrook, a small town 3 hours away, where my grandmother lived. My grandmother who, according to Mom, had died 5 years ago. I Googled Hadley Norton Millbrook and found a current address. Very much alive. "Taking a personal day," I told my boss, already grabbing my keys. Elena caught me at the elevator. "Hey, HR is filing a restraining order against your mom based on yesterday. You okay?" "No," I said honestly, "but I'm about to get answers." The drive to Millbrook was a time capsule of memories. Mom crying about Grandma's death, the convenient excuse that the funeral was private, immediate family only. The way she'd change the subject whenever I asked questions. Grandma's house was exactly as I remembered. Small, neat, with a garden full of roses. My hands trembled as I knocked. The door opened, and there she was. Older, grayer, but unmistakably alive. "Took you long enough," Grandma said, like we'd seen each other yesterday. Come in. We need to talk. I stepped into the house, my mind spinning. Mom said you were dead. Your mother says a lot of things. Grandma poured 2 cups of tea. I sent those documents. Figured you'd need them once the truth came out. How did you get them? I have friends at the credit union. Been watching your family's games for years. She sipped her tea. Your mother pulled the same stunt with my identity back in '95. Opened a gym franchise in my name. Nearly bankrupted me. The teacup rattled in my hands. Why didn't you stop her? I tried, but she had your father convinced I was the problem. Sound familiar? Grandma's eyes were sharp. So I walked away, kept tabs from a distance, waited for the pattern to repeat. And now it has, with me. History repeats until someone breaks the cycle. She reached for a filing cabinet. I've got more documents, bank statements, proof of other frauds, everything you need to finish what you've started. I stared at my grandmother, this woman who'd been erased from my life, who'd been watching, waiting, gathering evidence. Why help me now? Because you're different, she said simply. You're fighting back, and baby girl, I've got a front row seat to the show. She handed me another envelope, heavy with secrets. Time to teach them that karma doesn't skip generations. Your mother was always creative with money, Grandma said, spreading documents across her kitchen table. When she married your father, she had 3 maxed out credit cards in my name, called it borrowing. I picked up a yellowed bank statement. How did she get away with it? Same way she's getting away with it now. She's pretty, charming, and very good at making people feel guilty. Grandma sorted through more papers. The gym franchise was her masterpiece. Forged my signature as guarantor, then acted shocked when it failed. I lost my retirement savings. Why didn't you press charges? Your grandfather was sick. She threatened to keep you girls away if I made trouble. Grandma's hands trembled slightly. Sometimes the price of seeing your grandchildren is silence. The weight of that hit me hard. She told us you died of cancer. Easier than explaining why I disappeared. She pulled out another folder. But I kept watching, recording, every loan, every scheme, including this. She handed me a stack of papers, emails between Mom and the credit union, loan documents, even security camera stills showing Mom and Dad at the bank. How did you get these? Margaret at the credit union was my best friend in high school. She's been sending me copies of everything. Your mother's not as clever as she thinks. My phone buzzed. A notification from Instagram. Yara had tagged me in a post. Against my better judgment, I opened it. So blessed to announce my new business venture. Huge thanks to my amazing family for believing in me and helping fund my dreams. A girl boss, a Draksh entrepreneur. The photo showed her in front of an empty storefront, holding a coming soon sign for some kind of luxury wellness spa. There's more money, I said, feeling sick. She's opening a business. Grandma wasn't surprised. Your sister posted about meeting investors last week, but look at the loan documents. That 50,000 was just the beginning. She was right. The paperwork showed a complex web of credit applications, all using my information as a foundation. The car loan was just phase 1. They're planning to take out more loans, I realized, using my credit as collateral. Your mother's got expensive tastes and no conscience. Grandma's voice was hard. She'll drain you dry if you let her. I started organizing the documents like I would a work project. Timeline in one pile, financial records in another, witness statements, including Grandma's, in a third. I need to stop them before they can take out more loans, I said. Already handled. Grandma smiled grimly. Margaret put a fraud alert on your credit file this morning. They won't be able to open a paperclip in your name. My phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. Hey sis, need a small favor. Can you call the credit union and remove that fraud alert? Just a misunderstanding. Love you. I showed Grandma the text. She snorted. Your sister always did have timing. What do I do now? You've got two choices. Grandma leaned forward. You can do what I did. Walk away, stay quiet, let them keep their secrets. Or you can use everything I've gathered and burn their house of cards to the ground. They're my family, I whispered. Family doesn't steal your future. She touched my hand. Family doesn't forge your name and laugh about it over tennis. My phone lit up with another Instagram notification. Yara was live streaming from her future spa location, talking about manifesting abundance and family support systems. The rage I'd been suppressing bubbled up. Years of being the responsible one, the quiet one, the one they could count on to keep the peace. All while they stole from me, lied to me, erased people who told the truth. I want everything, I said. Every document, every record, every piece of evidence you've collected. Grandma nodded, already reaching for her filing cabinet. There's one more thing you should know. Your father's friend, Casey Ellis, the one who witnessed their signatures on the loan, he's got gambling debts. Pressure the right spots, and he'll crack. I started making notes on my phone, constructing a battle plan. Steps, sequences, pressure points. Just like planning a work project, except this one would dismantle my family's carefully constructed facade. They'll never forgive you, Grandma warned. Once you start this, there's no going back. I thought about my rejected mortgage, my stolen credit, the years of manipulation and lies, Yara's smirking Instagram posts funded by my destroyed future. Good, I said, and started taking pictures of the documents. They can add it to the list of things they'll have to explain in court. My phone buzzed one more time, another text from Yara. Come on, sis, don't be difficult. Family first, remember? I blocked her number and looked at Grandma. Tell me everything you know. Don't leave out a single detail. She smiled, the same smile I saw in my mirror when I was done being nice. Pull up a chair, baby girl. This might take a while. The anonymous tip to rich kids of Instagram was simple. Check out Alviara Norton's new spa business. Funded by identity theft and family fraud. Evidence attached. I watched from my office as the story spread. First, the gossip blog posted screenshots of Yara's luxury purchases alongside the credit union documents. Then our old private school's alumni network picked it up. By lunch, Yara's Instagram comments were flooded. Isn't this your sister? Elena asked, showing me her phone. It's all over Twitter. Karma works in mysterious ways, I said, sipping my coffee. My phone rang, a number I hadn't seen in months. Sawyer, my ex. Also a financial advisor who'd helped me start investing after college. Hey, he said when I answered. Just saw the posts about your sister. That explains a lot. What do you mean? Remember when I noticed weird activity in your credit profile last year? You said you'd look into it. He paused. I should have pushed harder. Not your fault. I was blind to a lot of things back then. Still, I feel responsible. Let me help. I've got contacts at the Regulatory Commission who should hear about this. I considered it. Sawyer had always been honest, even when it hurt. It's why we'd broken up. He saw through my family's dysfunction before I could admit it existed. Coffee? I offered. I've got documentation you should see. We met at a cafe downtown. He looked the same. Steady, solid, trustworthy in his button-down shirt and sensible watch. Holy shit, he said, flipping through Grandma's files. This goes back years. They used my information as collateral for Yara's spa loans, too. Would have kept going if you hadn't stopped them. He looked up. You did the right thing, Kaya. Doesn't feel right. Feels like betrayal. They betrayed you first. He pulled out his phone. I'm texting you my friend's number at the Regulatory Commission. She handles financial fraud cases. My phone buzzed with a different notification. Yara had posted a tearful video. I can't believe my own sister would spread lies about me and our amazing parents. This business was my dream. Now trolls are attacking me because she's jealous of my success. Sawyer watched the video with raised eyebrows. Wow, she's good. Had years of practice playing victim while you played peacekeeper. He touched my hand briefly. I always wondered why you worked so hard to seem invisible. Now I get it. My phone rang. Penny Reyes from the credit union. Ms. Norton, the bank is referring your case to the state fraud unit. Police will be calling for a formal statement. What about the spa loans? Frozen pending investigation. Your sister's business accounts too. I ended the call and looked at Sawyer. It's really happening. You sound surprised. I guess I didn't think anyone would believe me. They never did before. He started gathering the documents, organizing them carefully. You've got evidence now, and witnesses, including me. I'll testify about the credit irregularities I noticed. Why help me? We haven't talked in months. Because you're finally fighting back. He smiled slightly. The Kaya I knew was always strong. She just didn't know it yet. My phone exploded with notifications. Yara had posted again, this time tagging local news stations. Family betrayal. How my sister's false accusations are destroying a female entrepreneur's dreams. She's really pushing the victim narrative, Sawyer observed. Wait for it, I said. Right on cue, Mom commented. We only wanted to help our daughters succeed. This cruel attack on our family is heartbreaking. I showed Sawyer the loan documents again. Notice how the signatures don't match? That's because Mom forged them, all of them. You've got proof? Security footage from the bank, witness statements, even emails discussing the plan. Jesus, he shook his head. They really thought you'd never fight back. They thought I'd stay quiet forever, keep playing the good daughter. And instead, I pulled up the regulatory commission contact he'd sent. Instead, I'm going to show them exactly what the good daughter can do. My phone lit up again. Penny Reyes. Police detective requesting interview tomorrow morning. This is going federal. Are you ready? I thought about Yara's fake tears. Mom's practiced innocence. Dad's strategic silence. Years of manipulation and theft, all hidden behind family first. Tell them I'll be there, I texted back. Then to Sawyer. Want to help me prepare my statement? He was already pulling out his laptop. Let's make it bulletproof. Outside, I could see storm clouds gathering. Perfect weather for what was coming. Because this time, when the thunder rolled in, it would be wearing my voice. Mom's meltdown at my office happened on a Tuesday. I was in a meeting when security called. Your mother is in the lobby, causing a scene, the guard said. She's demanding to see you. Through the glass walls, I watched her pacing, designer handbag swinging like a weapon. Her voice carried across the floor. My daughter is destroying this family. I demand to speak to her. My boss touched my shoulder. Take the back exit. HR is handling it. I slipped out while security escorted her away, her threats echoing. You ungrateful child. After everything we've done for you. 2 hours later, HR called me in. We're filing a restraining order. This can't happen again. I nodded, numb. On my desk, my phone showed missed calls from Dad and 3 voicemails from Yara. I played the first one. They're questioning me tomorrow about the loans. How could you do this to me? To us? The second. If I go down, I'm taking them with me. Is that what you want? The third was just crying. Elena brought me coffee. Your sister's trending again. Different hashtag this time. Sure enough, Jacques Yaragate was spreading. Former classmates were sharing stories, unpaid loans, borrowed money, mysterious credit card charges. The perfect facade was cracking. My phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. This is Detective Roberts. We need to discuss the fraud case against your family. I took the call in the conference room, hands steady as I detailed everything. The forged signatures, the fake witnesses, the pattern of financial abuse. One of the witnesses, Casey Ellis, was your father's friend? The detective asked. Yes, he signed as a witness but wasn't present for the loan signing. Interesting, because Mr. Ellis just contacted us, says he's willing to make a statement. My heart jumped. Casey had been Dad's friend for 20 years. If he was talking... He claims your parents pressured him to sign, the detective continued. Says there were other documents too. Would you be willing to come in tomorrow morning? I'll be there. I called Grandma on my way home. Casey Ellis flipped, I told her. Not surprised. Your father's friends always were weak links. She paused. Be careful. Your mother's getting desperate. How do you know? She tried to access my bank accounts this morning. Good thing I changed all my passwords years ago. I thought about Mom's face at my office, the wild look in her eyes. What's her next move? When cornered, she'll try to destroy whatever she can't control. Grandma's voice hardened. Lock down everything. Bank accounts, social media, email, and Kaya? Don't be alone with any of them. That night, the emails started, first from Dad. Princess, please, we can work this out. Your mother is devastated, just drop the charges and we'll pay you back. Then from Mom. I've spoken to our lawyer. If you continue this vindictive campaign, we'll be forced to take action. Don't test me. Finally, from Yara. Hope you're happy. Mom's having anxiety attacks. Dad's not sleeping. All because you can't handle that they helped me instead of you. I forwarded everything to my lawyer without responding. At midnight, my doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Yara, mascara streaked down her face. Please, she begged through the door. Just talk to me. They're going to arrest Mom. I stayed silent. Fine, she screamed. You want to play hardball? Watch what happens when I tell them everything. About Dad's gambling, Mom's secret accounts, all of it. I recorded her rant on my phone, then sent it to Detective Roberts. The next morning, I watched from my office window as police cars pulled up to my parents' house. Mom was let out in handcuffs, still in her tennis outfit. Dad followed, head down, in his own set of cuffs. My phone buzzed. A text from Yara. They arrested them. This is all your fault. Then from an unknown number. Ms. Norton, this is ADA Matthews. We need you to come in. Your sister made some interesting statements during questioning. I grabbed my keys, my hands finally shaking. This was it, the point of no return. The moment when family secrets became public record. In my car, I found a note tucked under the windshield wiper. Dad's handwriting. We only wanted what was best for the family. I'm sorry it came to this. Too little, too late. I crumpled the note and started the engine. Time to tell the truth, all of it, and let the consequences fall where they may. Because family secrets are like poison. They only stop killing when exposed to light. The courthouse hallway felt endless. My heels clicked against marble as I walked toward courtroom C, where my family waited. Sawyer and Eleanor flanked me like guards. Ready? Elena squeezed my hand. I nodded, unable to speak. Inside, Mom sat with her lawyer, perfectly coiffed, even in her Navy courthouse suit. Dad slumped beside his own attorney, looking aged. Yara perched in the gallery, scrolling through her phone. The charges were read like a shopping list. Identity theft, bank fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy. Mom's face remained frozen in practiced innocence. Dad stared at his hands. Your Honor, the prosecutor began, we have documented evidence of a systematic scheme to defraud Ms. Norton of over $50,000. Yara's phone clicked loudly as she typed, probably live tweeting her own victim story. Then it was my turn to testify. Please state your name for the record. Kaya Norton. Can you identify the defendants? My mother, Daphne Norton. My father, Bryson Norton. And did they have permission to use your personal information to obtain loans? No. Did you authorize any of these transactions? No. What was the first indication something was wrong? I described the mortgage rejection, the credit report, the confrontation. With each detail, Mom's mask cracked slightly. She's lying, Yara suddenly shouted from the gallery. They were helping me start my business. She's just jealous. Order! The judge banged his gavel. One more outburst and you'll be removed. The evidence mounted. Bank records, forged documents, security footage. Casey Ellis's testimony about being pressured to witness signatures. Grandma's documentation of the pattern stretching back years. The state offers a deal, the prosecutor announced. In exchange for full restitution and dropped charges, the defendants must admit guilt and agree to financial monitoring. Mom's lawyer leaned in to whisper. She shook her head sharply. My client maintains her innocence, he said. This is a family misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? I stood up. You stole my identity. You destroyed my credit. We gave you everything, Mom finally exploded. A good home, education, opportunities, and this is how you repay us? By betraying your family? Order! The judge's gavel cracked like thunder. The defense rejects the deal, Mom's lawyer stated. Very well. The judge shuffled papers. Based on the evidence presented, I'm binding this over for trial. Defendants will surrender their passports. Mrs. Norton, given the flight risk and pattern of behavior, bail is denied. Mom's face went white. You can't do this. I have tennis tomorrow. Officers, take the defendant into custody. As they led Mom away, she turned to me. You ungrateful little... Mrs. Norton, the judge warned. Dad stood to follow his lawyer out. He paused beside me. Princess, he whispered. It wasn't supposed to be like this. No, I agreed. It wasn't. Yara stormed up, mascara running. Happy now? You've ruined everything. You ruined it, I said quietly, when you decided my future was worth less than your Range Rover. It was just money. It was my life, my dreams, my trust. We're family. Not anymore. She reeled back like I'd slapped her. You don't mean that. Watch me. Outside the courthouse, reporters waited with cameras. Yara pushed past them, already crafting her social media narrative. Dad shuffled to his car, shoulders bent. Mom was led to a police transport van, still protesting her innocence. Elena hugged me. You did it. Did I? My voice cracked. Then why does it feel like I lost everything? Because you did, Sawyer said gently. But you gained something too. What? Freedom. Later that night, I drove past the condo complex I'd dreamed of buying. A for sale sign still stood in front of Unit 12B. I parked and walked to the window, pressing my hand against the cool glass. Next year, I whispered. When my credit's cleared, when the restitution comes through, when I'm free. My phone buzzed. A text from Grandma. You did what I couldn't. Proud of you, baby girl. Then from Elena. Wine and pizza at my place? You shouldn't be alone tonight. And finally, from an unknown number, Dad. I'm sorry for everything, not just today, for all of it. I blocked his number without responding. Some bridges need to burn so you can't walk back across them. Some families need to break so you can finally break free. I touched the window one last time, then turned away. Next year would come soon enough. Tonight was for mourning what I'd lost, celebrating what I'd gained, and learning to live with both. The keys to Unit 12B felt heavy in my hand. Through the window, morning sunlight painted the empty living room gold. Ready? The realtor smiled encouragingly. I unlocked the door, stepping into my future. Not the luxury condo I'd originally dreamed of, but something better, a space bought with clean money and clear conscience. My phone buzzed, a news alert. Local influencer pleads guilty to financial fraud. The article showed Yara entering the courthouse. No designer clothes or perfect makeup this time, just a tired young woman facing consequences. The kitchen has great natural light, the realtor said, opening curtains. Perfect for morning coffee, I agreed, imagining quiet moments without drama or guilt. Elena arrived with the first box, Sawyer behind her with a lamp. Where's this going? Elena asked. Living room, by the window. We worked in comfortable silence until my phone rang. The prison's number. Aren't you going to answer? Elena asked. No. I hadn't accepted Mom's calls in weeks. Her last voicemail said enough. When you're done with this childish revenge, we'll discuss how to fix the damage you've caused. Some damage shouldn't be fixed. The doorbell rang, Grandma holding a housewarming gift. Every home needs good tea, she said, unwrapping a vintage tea set, and better memories. We set it on the kitchen counter, sunlight catching the delicate porcelain. Your mother called me, Grandma said, wanted me to convince you to drop the restitution claims. And I told her karma doesn't negotiate. She touched my cheek. Neither should you. The movers arrived with furniture. As they worked, my phone lit up with a text from Dad. The house feels empty without you. Please come home. Home. Such a loaded word. I looked around my new space. Bare walls waiting for photos, empty shelves ready for books. No guilt, no manipulation, no stolen dreams. This is home, I said aloud. Eleanor appeared with another box labeled kitchen. Mail came, she said, handing me an envelope. From the court. Inside was a restitution order. Mom and Dad would be paying back every penny with interest. Yara's assets were being liquidated. The Range Rover was already sold. Justice looks good on paper, Sawyer commented, reading over my shoulder. Looks better in reality, I replied, pinning the order to my new fridge. The movers finished. Elena ordered pizza. We sat on my floor, sharing slices and stories, when another text came through. An unknown number. It's Casey Ellis, the message read. Your father asked me to check on you. He's worried. I typed back, I'm not his concern anymore. He knows. Just wanted you to know he's getting help. Gambling addiction counseling. Too little, too late. I blocked the number. Grandma poured tea in her vintage cups. Your mother used to serve tea like this before the greed took over, back when she was still my daughter. Do you miss her? I asked. I miss who she was, not who she became. She sipped carefully. Just like you'll miss who they were supposed to be, not who they chose to be. The sun was setting when everyone left. Alone in my new space, I unpacked the last box, photos Elena had rescued from my old apartment. Mom teaching me to ride a bike, Dad at my graduation, Yara and me building sandcastles. Happy moments that felt like lies now. I set them aside, replacing them with new photos. Elena and me at wine night, Sawyer helping me move, Grandma in her garden, chosen family. My phone buzzed one last time. Yara's final Instagram post before her sentencing. Sometimes the hardest lessons come from our own choices. I'm sorry, sis. Too late, I know. But true. I didn't respond, but I didn't block her either. Some doors need to stay closed, but maybe not locked forever. Outside my window, the city lights blinked on. My reflection looked back at me, stronger, clearer, free of the weight of false obligations. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But this wasn't revenge anymore. It was resurrection, rising from the ashes of what they burned, building something new from the ruins of their lies. I made tea in Grandma's vintage cup, stood by my window, and watched night fall on my new beginning. They thought revenge was fire, but it wasn't. It was ice. It was standing right where they said I'd never be, warming my hands from the burn they made, and finally feeling the frost of their actions freeze their power over me. I took another sip of tea. Tomorrow would bring what it brought. But tonight I was home.